Hey, folks, welcome to InTheMoneyStocks.com's live trading action video. My name is Gareth Soloway, Chief Market Strategist here. Today's date is Monday, February 13th, 2017. Well, folks, this is a chart of the QQQ, one of the most amazing moves in this market. And again, it even boggles my mind to continue to see this market day after day just climbing higher, especially on the NASDAQ, which is more extended than the S&P 500. And again, just look at the recent move here. Going back basically 2 weeks, every single day essentially has been an up day. Now, listen, no single day is up 2 or 3%, but it's just kind of, the constant grind higher. Now, in my opinion, I believe that this market will come to an end in terms of its massive run. I do believe it will happen this week. I have a down week in position and am going for that in terms of my trade activity. And the reason I say that is because you're starting to see certain signals out there of reversals occurring. All right, and I know that sounds weird, but for instance, if you take a look at Apple, right? So if we go to the Apple chart here, Apple is moving up towards an all-time high level here. All right, and again, what my policy is you have to understand Apple's a leading stock. All right, this is a stock that leads the market higher. And basically, if you look at the all-time high on Apple, we're basically on the underbelly of it, right? So again, it's hard to see here, but you can see how we're just kissing the underside of it. The all-time high is around 134.50. So the thought process is very simple. If Apple is the market in terms of the NASDAQ, right? I mean, and listen, it's not the only part of the market, but it's the biggest component of the NASDAQ 100. And if Apple is literally kissing or just about to an all-time high, which is a double top, and double tops are resistance, then you should expect a pullback in Apple and therefore in the NASDAQ and NASDAQ 100, essentially. You see my thought process there? And listen, that's not to say that Apple can't bust through in a week or two and go higher and take the whole market with it. This is a very short-term call in terms of just looking at this chart among others and saying to myself, okay, I know this is resistance. This is an extended move on Apple. You're going to get at least a little bit of a pullback off of it. Therefore, the overall NASDAQ should pull back as well. And that's, again, the thought process there, guys. I want you to understand. Now, if you go to other charts out there, we can take a look at Alphabet. Take a look at this, guys. Alphabet actually has a very bearish chart to it. All right, this is a very bearish chart. Look at the decline and look at this inside bar pattern, and you're approaching a major gap fill, which should be the trigger point for further downside on Google/Alphabet. You see what I'm saying here? So even though Apple's at all-time highs, you're not seeing confirmation on a stock like Google or slash Alphabet. I still call it Google, but technically the name is Alphabet now. But again, do you guys see that? And this is very bearish. This price action is very bearish. Look at how you had a big drop on heavy volume, and then look at how this upside action is slow and steady, but look at how light the volume is. So light. That means basically amateurs are buyers and not institutions. And if institutions aren't buying, you can bet that they're looking to sell into that. They're just waiting for the small investor, the small fund, to push up the price of Alphabet to a point where they can do it. Now let's take a look at Facebook today. Facebook, take a look at the bounce today. First of all, it's negative, so that's not a good sign. Here's the high from earnings. Notice how it's having a lot of trouble getting above that high. It's not even testing it. To me, that's also a sign that, again, as long as it doesn't take that high out on a closing daily basis, you're in good shape for downside. And then lastly, we can take a look at Amazon. I'm really just going over the big boys here, but look at Amazon. Amazon filled the gap, kind of the same chart as Netflix, but a lot stronger because it actually went higher. But here was your gap fill on Amazon, and look at how it pierced it and then pulled back. This is a candlestick, so obviously you can see the tail means it was up there, but then it pulled back on it. And again, gap fill. This is actually a sell on Amazon too. So you have a lot of charts here, at least in the very short term, giving us a sell signal. And again, this is very short term. I want you to understand that, folks. I'm not making a call, 3 months down the line, market's going to be down 50% or anything like that. I'm saying that in the short term, over this week, maybe into next week, you should see a pullback in the NASDAQ 100. I repeat, that's my call. In the next week to 2 weeks, a pullback in the NASDAQ 100. My guess is anywhere between 2 and 3% over the course of that period, which is actually pretty good. I mean, that's not a bad pullback, and then we'll reevaluate at that point. Bottom line is, come join us at InTheMoneyStocks.com. You want trades, you want the live trades I'm taking, come join us, profit with us. Let's do it up, folks. Take care.